It's not often we have a Sharp device with us for review. Primarily sold in East Asian markets, these devices are hard to come by elsewhere. So, when Sharp contacted us to review their mostly new Aquos S2, we couldn't really say no. The Aquos S2 is a mid-range device in Sharp's lineup. The standout feature for it is the edge-to-edge display that Sharp was the first to bring to market with the Aquos Crystal 3 years ago. Apart from that, the phone comes reasonably equipped, complete with a dual rear camera, making it keep up comfortably with all the 2017 trends. The Aquos S2 is a relatively compact smartphone by today's standards. The main focus of the design is the screen-to-body ratio, which Sharp pegs at an impressive 87.5%. The front of the phone is dominated almost entirely by the display, but with a sizable chin area at the bottom. This is usually where things like the LED backlighting and touchscreen controllers are placed, since there is no space at the top, but from the outside all we see are the fingerprint sensor and the Sharp logo. There are no other physical buttons here, as Sharp has opted for on-screen navigation controls. The Aquos S2 has a 5-inch 2040 by 1080 IPS LCD. The image quality is generally good, but with a flaw: the color saturation is way over the top. This makes the colors really pop off the screen, which most people will probably really like, but if you want accurate colors, you are not going to get them here. The display settings let you adjust the color temperature and for some reason, make them even more saturated. While we didn't put the Aquos S2 through our usual rigorous battery life test, in our regular use the phone frequently gave us about 5-6 hours of screen on time. This includes taking pictures, using social media applications, browsing the web, and some phone calls. Despite the seemingly small 3020 mAh battery, the efficient Snapdragon 630 processor in our review unit barely sips power, making going through an entire day of use easy. The Aquos S2 runs Sharp's Smile UX on top of Android 7.1.1 Nougat. Having not had a lot of experience with Sharp phones in the past, we were curious to see how it stacked up. Smile UX, for the most part, isn't particularly intrusive or overbearing like some of the other Android skins out there. One could even blame it for being simplistic, to the point of wondering why Sharp bothered designing it at all instead of just going with stock Android design. Our review unit of the Aquos S2 came with the Snapdragon 630 processor with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. While we weren't expecting any miracles, the Aquos S2 managed to perform better than what we expected. Launching apps, switching between them, scrolling and such was all performed admirably, and we weren't often left wanting for more performance. The Aquos S2 has a 12-megapixel camera at the back with f1.8 aperture and dual-pixel phase detection autofocus. It is accompanied by a second 8-megapixel camera that acts as a depth sensor and a two-tone LED flash. If we had to summarize our experience with the Sharp Aquos S2, we would say it was mostly positive. The things that stood out to us were the thin and light design that was quite compact by today's standards, the generally good performance, the simple and straightforward UI, good camera quality and great battery life.